R. Kelly will be in a Chicago courtroom this morning to learn his sentence for his Chicago convictions. And the big question surrounding today's sentence, might Kelly spend the rest of his life in prison? ABC 7 legal analyst Gil Sofer joins us to talk more about what is expected today. Gil, it's good to see you.
Good morning, Tanya.
Well, prosecutors have asked for a 25-year sentence in the Chicago case. That's more than sentencing guidelines recommend. On what grounds?
Essentially on the grounds that this crime was especially horrible, that it was egregious, that he can't be permitted to be outside on the streets. Again, it's effectively a request for a life sentence on that basis.
What is the likelihood that a judge is going to submit to the prosecution's request for consecutive rather than concurrent sentences? Because that would make the difference between spending the rest of his life in prison or spending the next 30 years in prison.
It would. That's the key question today, and that's what all eyes are going to be on. And I'd say the odds are greater here than in the average case that we're going to see a consecutive sentence, one added to the other, because it's a different offense from the one charged in New York. It's a different case. It's got different victims. And unless the defense can convince the judge that really it's all part of the same package of crimes, I think there's a good chance we're going to see a consecutive sentence.
Well, not just that, but there's an interesting approach from Kelly's attorney, who has requested a lesser sentence, 10 years, arguing that Kelly has been singled out for behavior that white rock stars have gotten away with for decades. Now, will that argument carry weight with the judge?
I'd be very surprised if that argument carried weight with the judge. This is not a reckless driving offense. This is not a drug possession case. It's a case involving serious sexual crimes. The judge knows that. I think it's unlikely he's going to buy an argument that he's being treated unfairly.
Two more questions for you, Gil, before we let you go. Do you think we might actually hear from Kelly himself? And also, what do you think the ultimate outcome is going to be today, in your experience?
Defendants often do talk to the judge at the sentencing because they want to express their remorse and they're hoping for some more lenient treatment that might otherwise get. But Kelly didn't talk to the court in the New York case, and so I think it's unlikely he's going to do so here because he's afraid that something he will say might harm his chances on appeal. So we may not hear from him.
And you touched on it. You think we're going to end up with consecutive sentences here. It's just a question of how long will the judge give Kelly for his Chicago offenses?
Well, that's exactly right. And we don't. The only certainty we have is it's going to be at least 10 years. My suspicion is it'll be a little bit more and that it will be consecutive, but it's up to the judge.
The other certain thing is that we always value your opinion. Thank you so much, Gil. It's good to see you this morning. Talk to you soon.
Good to see you.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC 7 Chicago Eyewitness News.